Yep. So welcome to day 4 of Hyperautomation for UiPath training. So today the concept we are going to cover is something related to how the installation works, as well as how the look and feel of UiPath will be there after installation and all. So we'll just have a walkthrough or overview of Studio. So that is what we gonna cover today. And to just have a recap of the previous session, so we have discussed about the various products that was available in UiPath, which was mostly right from the discover, automate, um, and post automation phases, like three phases we have. So first, in the discover phase, we have seen things related to task mining, process mining, communication mining, as well as uh, process mining, communication mining, as well as automation hub. And in the automate, we have seen about Studio and the Studio family, which relates to Studio X, Studio Web, as well as Studio and integration services, apps, data services, document understanding, action center, AI center. So, which is all coming under the part of automate. Right. So after automation, you just need to maintain. For the maintenance, we have something called orchestrator, insights, and all these things. Right. So just to have a walkthrough of what each product does. So yesterday we have seen all these things like what is the functionality of each product and with a small demo. So today it's something where we kickstart something related to the studio development and all, which is our agenda. And I hand over the session to Pradeep. Yeah, you can just go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Aigaran. Thanks for the intro and recap of previous session. So today we are going to discuss about installation of Studio and what kind of interface we have it in Studio and what we can do it in Studio. We'll see it today. So quickly, let me share my screen. Please confirm. Are we able to see my screen or not? Just 1 minute. Can you please confirm it?
Yeah, we are it.
Great. Thank you. So first today we are going to install the studio. So for to install the studio, we need to go into the cloud platform. So let me open the cloud platform of UiPath, cloud.uipath.com. So when you go into the cloud.uipath.com, you log into the browser. So let me log out and let me do it again. So it will ask some kind of authentication to do the login. So okay. So if you want to log in with any of the account, then we have to log in with the Google. We can do that. So when you log in with your account details, so you can see this kind of a dashboard. So here you can able to observe one of the options that is called as a download studio. So when you click on this particular download studio option, what it will do, it will download the studio in your machine. Let me do that. Okay. So when you click on the download, what it's happening? So it's downloading the studio, right? So this is how it will work. Basically, I have already downloaded this one, so that's the reason I am stopping it. Let me open my studio to showcase.
So we'll also share you the instruction and guide or the step-by-step process how you need to install. So after downloading the MSA file, you just need to do some couple of steps where we will also share you the things. So coming to just add the prerequisite here. So we require minimum 8 GB RAM as well as Windows 7 OS and above and .NET Framework 4.6 and above, right? So these were the basic prerequisite for installing your path in your systems.
Yes. So let me, before going to quick start with Studio, so I want to discuss about the three things. So one is, so when you downloaded this one, you will get three things. One is Studio and Assistant and Orchestrator. So these three things already we have discussed it yesterday, but as we are part of the development, we have to use these things mainly. So I want to recap it again. Studio means we know. So when you downloaded it from the cloud platform, you will get one of the files. So when you install that particular MSA file, so you can able to see the Studio. This Studio is used to do the development. So it's a kind of ED platform. So whichever the development you are going to do it, you have to do it in the studio itself. And here we have some kind of features, the source connect, and we have debug. We have so many things to do it. These many features we have in the studio. And the assistant. Assistant is used to run the jobs, like whichever the process you have created in the studio. So you have to run it right. So without any dependency from the studio, so you can run it from the assistant. So that will get it from here. So when you install the studio from the cloud, when you type on the assistant, you can able to see the assistant here. So let me open and show you. See, see, this is how we'll get it. So if you want to, these are the process I have it in my machine. So if you want to run it anything, you can run it directly from here. Run. So this is the orchestrator. So here we can see whichever the process are published and whichever the process you want to manage it. And if you want to schedule it based on the time, like some of the process we want to schedule it right at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Or if you want to run it based on the queue-based trigger. Queue-based trigger means if you are getting any mail, then only if you want to trigger the bot. So that mechanism is called as a queue-based trigger. And if you want to run it based on the time specific, that will be called as a time-based trigger. So these kind of things, if you want to store assets, means if you want to store any dynamic values to use it in your studio, so that we can call it as assets. We can store it in the orchestrator and we can read it and queues. So the input data for some of the process we can store it in the queues. So the queues will be also stored it in the orchestrator. So manage assets. So these many things we can do it. So when you downloaded the studio, so you will get studio and assistant and the cloud platform, which are the cloud platform we have opened it. This is called as the orchestrator for us. So when you open the cloud.uipath.com, just you have to go to the orchestrator. So this is the orchestrator. Here you can see everything, process, assets, queues, triggers, users, missions. You can observe these are other things. We can use any of the feature from here to call it in your studio. And I want to discuss one more thing. So if you are going to build any of the process, if you want to run it using robot, we have two types of robots are available. One is attended robot and unattended robot. So how we can define it, which is attended robot and which is unattended robot. So this will be defined based on the way you have created the bot. Like when you are started the process and when you are creating the process, based on your process requirements, it will be divided into attended robot or unattended robot. So one of the example is for the attended robot needs human interaction. So an attended robot needs human interaction. So an unattended robot will work without any human interaction. So one of the example for attended robot is like if you are going to log in any of the application. So when you are going to log in, if it is asking any OTP, so then what you have to do? You have to enter the OTP, then only you will get the login, right? So anyway, if you are created the bot to log in username, password, and if you are going to click on login button, after that you will get one kind of pop-up. There you have to enter the OTP. OTP you will get it from the mobile. As a user, we have to read it from the mobile and we need to click it on. We need to type that OTP and we need to submit it, right? So that's called as a attended robot. Here we are in the part of human interaction. Means as a human, we are reading that OTP and we are entering that OTP in the application, right? So that's called as a human interaction. Unattended robot is without any human interaction. If you are going to log in any login pages like Facebook or something. So you no need of entering the OTP. So when you enter the username and password, when you click on the login, so directly it will get login, right? So if you are doing that kind of automations, we don't require uh, any human interaction in it. So directly we can schedule it, it will get login, right? So it's that kind of robots are called as a unattended robots. So as of now, any doubts regarding these basics? So once we are done, then directly we'll jump into the UiPath Studio.
So Pradeep, Karthik here.
Yes, please.
So what is the example you given for unattended
Unattended is without any human interaction.
human
If you are doing
interactions?
the, yeah, without
Hmm.
any human interaction, if you are logging directly without any OTP, so that's
Okay,
called as a unattended.
okay, okay, fine. Thanks.
Yeah. In QA and test environment, do we install only UiPath Assistant? Yes, because in that particular environment, we no need of doing any testing, any coding, right? So whichever the coding we have done it in the dev environment, just we have to run it in the QA or test environment. So let me open the PPT. So today what we are going to learn, so we are going to learn the interface of Studio. So when you are install the Studio, you should know about all the tabs, all the interface panels available in the Studio. So then only you can easily navigate to each section. So let me open the Studio parallelly. So here just I'm going to create a normal basic process. So when you created a process, it will take a few minutes of time to load all the dependencies in your machine. So that's what's happening here. Here you can able to see here it is creating some workspace to do the development. Yes. So we are in the main screen now. So here you can able to see the panels. So when you open the studio, so we have major three panels are available. One is home and design and debug. So we'll navigate to the each pane and we'll get to know what kind of features we have it. So first we'll go into the design. So here is the design and this is home. Yeah. So when you navigate to the studio, directly it will jump into the design tab. So what we are going to cover now? So we are going to cover each tab of major things. So first we'll start with the home. So here you can able to see the home. So these are the same options we have it in the studio. Yes. So when you click on the home tab, we can able to see these things: start, templates, team, tools, setting, help. So these things are not related to your project, whichever the project you are going to create. These things are related to your studio itself. So if you want to start any project, then you have to go with the start and you have to click on the open. Here you can see the start tab enables the creation of a new automation process. It consists of 4 sections. If you want to open previous project, we can open it. If you want to open the recent one, which we have opened it recently, we can open the most recent project and the new project. If you want to create any new project, we can create it. Or if you want to get any template, directly we can call that a template here. So let me show you in the studio. See. So when you go to when you click on the start, we can able to see open. Open means we have to create a new project. Open means if you have created a project, directly we can open that project. So in this way, so directly it will open the folder. We have to open it. And if you want to open any recent project, so here you can able to see all the recent projects, right? So these projects I have opened it earlier, so I can open the recent one. So if you want to create a new process, we can create it from here. Or if you want to create it from the template, we can create it from here. So when you go to the start, we have 4 options: open, open recent, new project, and new from template. Yeah. And when you navigating to the templates, so again, we have 2 tabs. One is recently used templates or search for a template. Template means already pre-built code. So it's a kind of reusable code. We'll get it. So if you want to use the reusable code, so we can use that reusable code in the template section. So here we have 2 things. One is recently used template and sets for templates. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So let me show it in the studio. So when you go to the template, so here see recently used templates are sets for the templates. So template is a part of code which is already pre-built. So this code is already pre-built. If you want to use that code, we can use it. Yes. So let me jump into the PPT again. So this is related to the repository. Repository means, let me explain you one thing. So if you are working for one project, so in that project, 4 to 5 members are working for the same project. So at that time, so how we can integrate the code? So where you can store your code. So we can't store it, right? So at that time, what we are going to do, we are going to connect our code to the Git repository or TFS or SVN. So what will happen? So whichever the code you are developed by today, we can push it to the repository. Repository is a kind of source of code. So where we can keep our code as a dynamic. So who all are working in your team, so everyone can push that code to the repository. So everyone can access that code. Because if you have done the if you have done the automation for the login, and in your teammate, he wants to use that particular login page in the part of automation. he can't ask you every time, right? So that's the reason if you push that code to the repository, so what it will happen? So he can take it from he can take it from repository anytime, and if whichever the code he has done, he can push the same code into the repository. So repository is a kind of source place where we can store our code. So these tabs are related to that particular mechanism. So let me show you. So here the teams. So here, when you see these are things we have clone repository, copy to Git, and Git thing. So the Git is a kind of thing where we can store the data. Here, and we have one more tab that is called as tools. Yes. Yes. Yeah, in the tools, when you navigate to the tools, we have seen it couple of extensions here. So Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Java, Silverlight, Citrix. So these many installations we have it. So why these installations are required? So why these extensions are required for us? Means if you are going to do any kind of automation in the Chrome application, so what we are doing it, we are interacting the Chrome with UiPath Studio, right? So the interactive mechanism should work only when you are having the extension installed in your UiPath Studio. So you are accessing the Chrome from UiPath, right? So Chrome should give access to UiPath to access it. So that giving the access is called as an extension. So that's the reason we have installed the Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and these other components also. So if you have this Chrome installation, then only you can use the Chrome as an automation here. So if you uninstall, you can't do the automation for it. It's a kind of giving the access. The Chrome is giving the access to the UiPath to access to do the automation. Yeah. And here we have some setting tab. So let me navigate to the setting tab. So this setting tab is mainly related to the studio. So how it should be. So this is just general settings, and this is a design. So what kind of a design we can see it, and this is project where we have to keep the location of your project. And if you have any sources, like if you want to add any of the other packages, we can add the packages here. And this is related to the profile. This is related to your licensing and profile. If you want to change your profile, as we see in right, we have in studio, we have three things. One is studio, UiPath Studio, and one is Studio X, and one is Studio Web, right? Web Studio will be available in the cloud. If you want to use the Studio UiPath Studio, you can use it here. If you want to use Studio X, you can use it here. But as we are part of core development, we are working on the studio. So if you are working as a business user, like you know the automation, you know the process, what to do, but you don't have much skills to do the development, then at the time we have to go with the Studio X. But as per the core development, we have to use the studio because it has more features compared to the studio. We can do the debugging, we can do the exception handling mechanisms, we can do the source control. So these many features we have it in the studio. So we have to go with the studio for core development. And this coordinator. So these things are related to the settings which we are going to make it in the studio. And we have one more general tab. So this is inside the settings. We have general, design, and location, manage source. So this is what we have seen it. So in the general tab, we have language, theme, telemetry, and reset setting. So this is entirely related to the studio setting. And here also in the design. So in the locations where you have to publish the code, basically when you are saving the automation. So let me show you. So this is the automation I have created. This is the process I have created just now, right? So where it will get stored. So just navigating the project and clicking on the folder. So it is storing in the part of uh, C users, my username under documents, UiPath, hyperautomation underscore introduction, right? So it will store your project by default in the path of documents, UiPath based on your project name. Yes. So this is how it will work. So if you want to change your location, you can change it. So this is related to the source. So if you want to keep any source somewhere, so we can change the path of the source also. This is related to the license as we discussed. So if you want to use Studio, or if you want to use Studio X, we can use here. And this is related to the Git. So for which platform you want to connect, and which platform you have to keep the code to sync. So we can do that. So this is help related to the entire UI path. So when you want to click on the help, you can see a couple of options here. See, related to the documentation. So whichever the documentation is available in the UI path, you will get everything in this particular link. And here you can see the forum. Forum means already we have discussed about it. So if you are stuck with somewhere, you are not getting any clue what to do next, then you have to uh, send your question to the UiPath forum. So anyone can give some kind of answers to it. So based on that, you can proceed it. And this is for help center, and this is for academy. Academy is a place where we can do the certifications, where you can learn about everything, all the UiPath products, and release notes, whichever the updates we are getting it here. And this is for survey, and this is for a quick tutorial how we can use the studio. So we are clear with the tab of major tab of home. So now what we are going to do? So we are going to cover the tab of design and debug. So here I can show. So when you click on the design, so you can able to see these many options. These 16 options you will get it. So here is the first option. We'll start with the first option. Design allows the users to do these many things. So the first thing is new. So it will help us to do the workflow creation. So if you have started one project, you won't create the entire project in one workflow, right? So you have to divide it in the modularity. So that modularity will be done based on creating the workflows. So that workflows will be created in the new tab, new section. Then saving the project. So we can save the project here using whichever the workflow you have created. You can save it here just one way. Yes, sorry for the wait. So here we can do the save of the project. So whichever the project we are done, we have to do the save of the each workflow. So we can save it here and export the project as a template. We have seen it right earlier, calling the template. What's the template? It's a kind of a reusable workflow. We can call it multiple times, right? So if you want to create the template, so how you can create it? So just you are not going to do anything much. So whichever the workflow you have created, just you are exporting that particular project as a template. So what it will do, it will we can see that project in the part of template. And the fourth one is run project directly or in the debug mode. So when you see here, so we have some drop down box, drop down, right? So there you can see debug, debug project, run file. So these kind of options we have it. So using that, we can run the project based on the debug mechanism. And the fifth one is cut, copy, and paste activities and workflows. So if you want to copy the activities, or if you want to paste the activities, if you want to cut the activities, we can do it, which are the activities we have implemented in our workflow. And manage packages. So this is a install and manage activities packages. I have to show you what is manage packages. So let me open that. Yeah. So here is the manage packages are there. So what is the manage packages means? If you are going to do the automation for, let me give you one of the example. So my automation is you will get a mail every day. So in that mail you will get one Excel file. So you have to read that Excel data, and you have to enter that data into one of the web-based application. So once you enter that data in web-based application, it will give the output file as a PDF. Then we have to download that PDF. Then we have to send that PDF to the business user. Okay. So at that time, what we can do? So first, what we are getting it, we are getting the mail. In that mail, we are reading the Excel. Then once you're reading the Excel, we are entering the data. Entering the data in Chrome. So once you enter the data in the Chrome, it will give the PDF file as output. We are just downloading that PDF file and doing the rename of it. Then we are sending a mail. So this is our high level of automation. We are going to do it. So if you are going to do this automation, what kind of activities we may require? That's the first thing, right? Before starting the project itself, you should know what kind of activities you are going to do it. So first, getting the mail. For getting the mail, what we have to do? We have to use mail activities. Mail activities. Then reading the Excel, we need Excel activities. And entering the data in the Chrome, we need UI-based activities. UI activities. And for the PDF, we need PDF activities. And for the mail, again, we need mail activities. Right? So to process our workflow, to create our project end to end, so we need these things, right? So these are the things we require. But when you observe in the manage package section, we have only couple of packages are available. So this is your project. You can see Excel activities are available, mail activities are available by default, system activities are available by default, testing activities are available, and UI automation activities are available by default. So just compare it, which activities are we are missing. Mail activities. Okay, we can see mail activities are available, Excel activities are available, UI activities are available, and PDF activities, there is no PDF activities, and mail activities. So to process our, to create our work project end to end, we are lack of PDF activities. So at that time, what we have to do, we have to go to the manage packages section, and we have to enter as a PDF. So here you will get the PDF activity. Just you have to download it and you have to save it. So these package dependencies are installing now. Yeah. So now you can able to observe in the dependencies of our project, we have Excel, mail, PDF, system, testing, and UI automation. We got the PDF activities also, right? Means we are good to go with the end-to-end to do the automation. So this is how the managed packages will work. And manage entities for a project. So this is for creation of entities. And if you want to use that entities, we can use that particular option. And record is, so if you are going to do sequential order of automation in any Windows based application or web based application. So what we are going to do, so just we instead of doing the automation for it, we can record the script. So whichever the actions we are doing it, we can record it. So whichever the actions you are recording it, it will be created as a project. And when you are going to run it, whichever the options we have done it, it will be run again and again. So that's how it will work. So when we will be in the part of working on the web-based automation or Windows-based automation, we'll show you so how this recording part will work. This scrap the data. So scrap the data also same. So if you want to extract any of the data from the applications, from the web-based applications, we can use the scrap the data and extract structured data. So if you want to use any structured data like tabular format of data, we can go with the structured data and execute activities at a user event. So this is kind of a debug options we have it. We can we can use it when you are building the project. And if you want to create a custom selector, selector C is like giving the path to the robot to do some kind of action. So for that, if you want to create any custom selectors, we can do that. So these coding related stuff, we can cover it in the future sessions because we are going to use the studio itself, right? When you are using that particular options, you will get to know about the idea. But today's session is like, you should know these many activities, these many functions are available in the studio. Then only you will get some kind of idea, right? If the project requires something, you should know the idea about it. Okay, I can use this particular thing from here. Means you can do that. And the next one is remove unused variables in a project. So if you have created a project with unused variables or arguments, you can do that. You can remove it using unused variables and analyze files for errors and rules violations. So once you are done with the project, so if you want to check whichever the project you have created, is it implemented using the best practices or not? So for that, we have to check it. When you click on that particular option, so what it will happen, it will give some kind of warnings and it will give errors if it is available in your project. So what we have to do? So before pushing it to the orchestrator, we have to clear that all the errors and warnings to make sure your project is having a robust structure. And the 15th option, export workflows in a Excel file. So if you want to export all your workflows in a Excel file, we can do that. And the last one is publish a project to the orchestrator. So whichever the project you have done here, so you have to see if you want to see this particular process in orchestrator, then what we have to do, we have to publish it. So when you publish it, it will be visible in the orchestrator. So from orchestrator, we can run the particular process which we have created. So this is about the design tab. So this tab will use mostly when we are going to do the development. So any doubts for in the part of design tab, design section?
Hi. What is the use of manage entities? Actually, it's hidden, right?
Sorry,
Use of
manage.
manage entities. Yeah.
Yeah, manage entities is a kind of data we can store it. So that entities we can call it. So when you are creating the entities, we can use that particular piece. So we'll show it in the next session. So when you are creating the entities, we can show that. It's
Okay.
not related to the setting, it's related to the project which we are going to work on it.
Hi, this is Lavanya.
Yes.
Can you show me the screen scrapping and data scrapping methods in modern design?
Yes, we'll showcase the data scraping and the screen scraping also. So, but I think data scraping and screen scraping are not available in the modern
Yes, yes,
design.
yes.
Yeah, but we'll
Um,
showcase how to read the data in the screen, how to read the data for the structured and unstructured when we are giving the session for the modern activities. So that session is aligned for the 6th or 7th day. So you can join that day so you can get some idea about how to extract the data using modern activities.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So let me jump into the next tab. That is the debug tab here. So let me open the studio again to showcase. Yeah. This is the debug. So you can see a couple of functions are available in the debug also. Yes. Yeah. So debug is when you are done with the project. So if you want to see how your project is working on, what is the way of your project is working on, to get to know, we can see it in the debug tab. So in the debug tab, I is having a couple of features again. So let me show that the functions. Run the project directly or in the debug mode. So run the project directly or in debug mode means if you want to run it, if you are running it as a directly means it will run end to end. So debug mode means if you are keeping any toggle, so what it will happen, it will stop in that particular area. Breakpoints I can say. So whenever you are running it, you can make a break of your execution. So what it will happen, you will get to know, okay, this is how it's working. I have stopped the bot here. Okay, till this point, we have read these values and we have executed these steps and we have done the automation for these many steps are perfectly. So again, we'll jump into from here to next step. So that's the way if you want to keep any breakpoints, we can keep the breakpoints and we can run it using the debug mode. And the next one is stop project execution. So here you can see. So the stop project execution is if you want to stop the project in the middle, so we can stop it. And the third one is monitor and manage step-by-step execution of activities. So if you keep any breakpoints, from that breakpoints, how we are going to run it. Breakpoint means it will pass the execution, right? When you pass the execution, you have to do the resume. So if you want to do the resume, so what kind of things, how we are going to proceed it? Do you want to proceed with the step into? Step into will do the each activity. Step over will do some kind of jump into the activities, and step out will be the kind of it will skip entire for each at once, or it will skip entire looping mechanisms at once. So this is how these options will work. And the fourth is retry, ignore, and restart the project execution. So if you are getting an issue with any of the activity, so if you are getting an issue with an activity in the breakpoint mode, so what you are going to do it? So how we are going to do the retry, if you want to ignore that, or if you want to restart the project again. So these things will be happen. So if you will showcase each option when we are building the code, so you can able to observe that and set breakpoints. So as we see, as I explained, so if you want to keep step into, step over, step out, or if you want to run the project in the debug, so you have to keep the breakpoints. So you can keep the breakpoints wherever you need it and adjust the debugging speed. So debugging speed also we can maintain it. The debugging speed will be 5 seconds or 10 seconds, or if you want to keep much delay between the debug breakpoints, you can do that. And not audible.
Yeah, just give us 1 minute. I think Pradeep has
Yeah.
lost his connectivity.
Sorry, I got a glitch, so I got dropped off. Let me share my screen again. Sai Kiran, can you please confirm it? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are able to.
Yeah. Thank you. So here we can see, I'm going to showcase it again. So if you want to, if you are getting an error, if you want to directly navigate into that error or an activity, so we have to go with this particular option. And here we can see view extract execution path at debugging. So if you want to see how the execution is happening in the debugging, you can see all the options. And in the ninth one, highlight element. So whichever the elements if you want to highlight, that particular debugging elements will be highlighted. So this is the one kind of feature we have it. And log debugging activities. So whichever the activities we have keep it. So that particular activities will print it in the log messages. And this is also same kind of logging related stuff for log exception and continue exception. And start process in a separate section. If you want to keep it in the separate section, like it will generate some kind of VM for it, and it will generate the workflow execution for it. And here you will get one of the file to showcase all the logs when you are running the workflow. So you got the high level of things right here. So basically we have only three major things. One is home, and one is design, and one is debug. Home will be used before doing the development. If you want to do any setting in your studio, we can do that. Design, when you are building the code, so we have a lot many options here to read it and to use that particular functions. And debug is once you are done with the development, when you are running the code, so how you can run it, how you can use that, so we can do that here. So these are the three main components we have to cover it in the studio. So except that, so let me open the studio here itself. So except these three cases, I have to cover a couple of other panels also. So you can see here. So we have three tabs here. And when you come here, here also we have multiple tabs. And here we have variables, arguments, and import. And here output, break, bookmarks, and error list. So let me cover all the things quickly in 5 minutes. Yeah. Yes. So when you are starting the process, when you are going to start the project, if you want to use any of the activity, so you'll get the activities from the activities pane. So I need a read range. So I'll get it from here. If you want write range, I'll get it from here. If you want something else as a type into, we'll get it from here. If you want to do the automation using click activity, so you'll get it from here. So whichever the activities you want to get it, so all the activities you will get it here itself. So using these activities, we have to do the automation. And the next one is project. So this tab is entirely related to your project. So how you are doing it. So these are the dependencies we have it, and these are the workflows we have created. If you want to create one more tab, just let me create test. So what it will do in your project, it got created one more test tab, right? Test workflow. So this particular test is related to your project. So this is how it will work. So here, this is a kind of snippet. Snippet is as a kind of a reusable component itself. So if you want to use the pre-built code directly, we can use it here. So we can keep all the reusable code in the snippet platform. See, it's already all the pre-built code. So wherever you are working as a reusable code, you can create a snippet and we can use it here. So already a couple of snippets are available based on the UiPath itself. So if you want to keep anything else, we can do that. So we covered here three tabs. One is activities, project, and snippets. So let me come here. So this is related to the test explorer. Text explorer is when you have done the development. So you want to test your project using the test manager product. So we have to use this particular tab. And this is outline. So this will show how your project is created and how your project is visible. Sorry. See, so this particular test workflow is designed in this way. When you observe the sequence, then get environment folder. So get environment folder and open application calculator. Open application calculator means if the workflow is very big, so you can able to observe your workflow what we have done it here. So that's called as outline. And object repository. Object repository is a place where we can create dynamic selectors and where we can store it. So selector means, as I said you, so selector is a path to identify or to click on somewhere. As a human, if you say, please click on somewhere means I'll do the click me, right? But as a robot, we have to give the path to it. So the path will be stored in the object repository. So we can explain you detailedly in the further sessions when we are using the object repository in our project. And this is the data manager. So if you want to see the data manager data, we can see it here and we can use it in the further. And here we can see output pan. So when you are able to run it, so whichever the data we have, whichever the workflow we are running it, we'll get all the workflow related stuff here and breakpoints and bookmarks. So if you have created any breakpoints, so if I keep any one of the breakpoint here, so you can see the breakpoint. So I kept the breakpoint here. So this is how it will get it. So this is when the execution is done. So if you are having any errors in your workflow, so you will get all the errors list. So where you are getting the error, why you are getting the error, what is that error. So you will get all the error related stuff here. And here is we can create a variable. So to use the to store the data in your code. So if you want to keep the variables, we can store the variables here. And this is for the argument. So if you have any data to store it in the arguments, we can store it in the arguments. And this is the import. So if you want to go with any of the namespaces to import it, so these namespaces will work when you are using the regex or when you are using any .NET function. So to support the .NET function, we need some kind of namespaces. So we can read that namespaces from here. And this is the workflow. This is where I have connected. And this is if you want to connect with any of the source control, we can connect it from here. And this is a kind of project, what kind of project we have created. So this is about entirely related to the studio. So you should know the high level picture, what is studio and what we have done, what kind of functions we can do it in the studio. From tomorrow's session, we'll jump into the studio and we'll design the project and what is the sequence, what is the flow chart. We'll explain everything like why we need to use the sequence, why we need to use the flow chart and how to do the design, how to create the variables, how to create the arguments, how to pass these things and UI based automation, Excel based automation. We'll cover it from the tomorrow's session. So any doubts on today's session? Let me go to the chart. So how can we download the lower version? Yeah, yes, it is not possible now. So you have to go with the latest session only, latest version of UiPath Studio only every time.
So earlier we used to have in the resources in the community in the cloud.uipath.com. So, but that feature was not available now. We can have the latest version of UiPath for the community versions. But if it is enterprise version, we can just do that by just raising a request. But definitely will not go with the downgraded versions because you might have uh, been working on latest features and which will be not available in the downgraded versions. Fine. From tomorrow, we will kickstart something on variables, arguments, as well as string manipulation sessions tomorrow. Yeah. So we'll share the recordings as well as the materials utilized in the sessions. Please go through the materials as well as the session recordings if you have missed or else you want to recap. And also, we are sharing the daily quiz links in the group. So please do post after taking the quiz in the LinkedIn by just tagging us by showing your support. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining the session.
Thank you. Thanks, Pradeep, for your session. Thanks, Niklesh, for joining the sessions. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Yes, Shoyam, you are asking something. Any doubt you have, Shoyam? You can just unmute. We are ready to help you. Okay, that's great.
I do not have. Thank you for your
Okay.
session here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.